Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Elevated Healthy, where we bring you content for your conscience that makes much sense. All right. Y'all already know what to do. So let's go ahead and get it started. We got some breaking news. This is eye opening. Venezuela 7.5 earthquake. Back to back earthquakes. So that's saying something. All right. So with no further ado, we're gonna do a reaction to the video. Let me know what y'all think about what you see in the comments. And let's go ahead and get it started. So today we found a video that people all over the internet have been talking about, and I have no idea. Well, I do have somewhat of an idea what's going to happen, but every time something surprises me. This video that you're about to witness is the footage from the earthquake. So let's go ahead and get it started. Watching this from a screen is one thing, living through this something completely different. Look at the movement. That shaking alone shows you how powerful this event was. You can see people trying to move quickly.
On the evening of
while
June
buildings and
24,
streets
2026, Venezuela was struck by one of the most catastrophic seismic events in its modern history.
What stands out isn't just the destruction, it's how quickly ordinary people become first responders.
Two powerful earthquakes, separated by just 40 seconds, unleashed destruction across the country's northern region, collapsing buildings in the capital Caracas and triggering fears of mass casualties on a scale rarely seen in South America.
Earthquakes of this magnitude are considered major seismic events. They can cause structural failures, infrastructure damage, and widespread disruption depending on depth and location. In Venezuela's case, early reports suggest multiple buildings were affected and rescue operations are ongoing in several areas. We're going step by step through what is confirmed, what's still developing, and what this means for people.
The first earthquake, registering a magnitude of 7.2, struck at approximately 6:04 in the evening local time, with its epicenter located near San Felipe, the capital of Yaracuy State, roughly 160 kilometers west of Caracas.
According to early seismic data, the quake struck suddenly and was felt across large portions of the region. Residents reported strong shaking lasting several seconds, enough to cause panic and immediate evacuations. In moments like this, the biggest danger isn't just the earthquake itself, it's what happens afterward. Falling debris, collapsing structures, and aftershocks. Emergency alerts were quickly issued and people began moving into open spaces.
Se cayó. Hay gente ahí.
Cayó la puerta, tengo la boca seca. Mira.
The tremor originated at a depth of nearly 22 kilometers, sending violent shaking, radiating outward across densely populated cities and towns. Before residents could fully grasp what was happening, a second and even more powerful quake struck, just southeast of the town of Umar, also in Yaracuy State, at a shallower depth of only 10 kilometers.
Reports coming out of affected areas suggest varying levels of damage. In some locations, buildings sustained cracks or partial collapses, In others, infrastructure like roads and utilities were disrupted. Rescue crews have been deployed to access damage and search for anyone who may be trapped or injured. This is the part of earthquakes that most people don't see, the hours after the shaking stops, when communication lines are unstable and teams are working against time.
The main shock has been described as the largest earthquake ever recorded in Venezuela and the strongest the country has experienced in more than 125 years. The timing made the disaster all the more devastating. Wednesday was a public holiday in Venezuela, commemorating a decisive military victory in 1821 that secured the country's independence from Spain. Millions of people were at home, gathered with their families or out at public events, when the ground beneath them began to shake. In Caracas alone, residents described a scene of pure chaos. Buildings swayed violently from side to side. Walls cracked and gave way. Dust columns rose above neighborhoods.
What matters most in any disaster like this is the people. Families trying to locate loved ones, neighbors helping each other out, damaged areas, emergency responders working under extremely difficult conditions. In situations like this, entire communities often become the first responders before official help can even arrive.
Where restaurants and businesses were still busy from the holiday afternoon. People ran into the streets, many of them barefoot, clutching children and pets, staring in disbelief as entire building facades crumbled before their eyes, exposing the interiors of apartments and offices to the open air.
Mira el edificio mío.
Son las 8 p.m. aquí en Avenida Los Próceres de San Bernardino.
Emergency responders mobilized immediately across the country. In the municipality of Chacao in eastern Caracas, more than 500 personnel were deployed to conduct search and rescue operations. Gas supplies were shut off as a precaution across multiple districts. Large sections of the capital lost both electrical power and cell phone signal, cutting off communication for thousands of families, including many of them.
Venezuela sits in a seismically active region influenced by multiple fault systems. This means earthquakes, while not always frequent at this magnitude, are a known risk. Understanding this helps explain why preparedness, building codes, and emergency response systems are so important in regions like this.
More than 7.5 million Venezuelans who had emigrated abroad during years of economic crisis, desperately trying to reach their relatives back home.
Colapsado, hay, bomberos.
The neighborhoods of Los Palos Grandes and Altamira in Caracas were identified by Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello as among the worst affected areas, with what he called alarming situations of collapsed homes and buildings.
One thing about one of the biggest concerns after a major earthquake is aftershocks. These smaller quakes can continue for hours, days, or even weeks. They may not always be as strong as the main event, but they can still cause additional damage to already weakened structures. This is why authorities often urge people to stay in safe zones even after initial shaking stops.
In one unspecified area of southeastern Caracas, reports indicated that nearly all high-rise structures in the vicinity were either heavily damaged or had completely collapsed. A bank building in the capital also came down. Emergency vehicles struggled to navigate streets blocked by rubble, downed electric poles, and fallen debris. Authorities urged motorists to clear the roads immediately to allow ambulances and rescue teams through.
When disasters like this happen, international attention often follows quickly. Humanitarian organizations may assist with medical aid, rescue support, and emergency supplies depending on severity. The global focus right now is likely on search and rescue, medical response, restoring basic services, and assessing total damage.
Simon Bolivar International Airport in Caracas sustained significant damage and was shut down, with all arriving and departing flights suspended. Video footage circulating on social media showed debris falling inside the terminal and passengers scrambling for safety.
Mira que estamos debajo de todos los cables están casi. Vamos a ver cuál. Vamos a ver el parque now,
Watching events like this from a distance can feel unreal, but for the people there, it's not a video. It's their home, their street, their daily life disrupted in seconds. This is why accuracy and respect matter when covering real world disasters.
Hospitals moved quickly to expand capacity, with staff at the Hospital de Clínicas in Caracas asked to double their night shifts to handle the influx of injured patients. Footage from inside the hospital showed darkened corridors, with ceiling panels hanging loose and plaster scattered across the floors. Bobo, Aragua, and Miranda, and in the coastal city of La Guaira, situated near the capital. Acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez addressed the nation in a state emergency declaration, confirming that fatalities had already occurred. She announced that hundreds of emergency workers were actively engaged in rescue operations and called.
As more verified updates come in, the full picture will become clearer. For now, the priority is safety, rescue, and support for those affected. If you're watching from Venezuela or have family there, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments respectfully. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more clear, grounded updates on major global events.
For national unity in the face of the disaster.
Marico, se cayó toda la llanada.
Mira los delfines, mira, 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 mira.
According to early seismic data, the quake struck suddenly and was felt across large portions of the region. Residents reported strong shaking lasting several seconds, enough to cause panic and immediate evacuations. In moments like this, the biggest danger isn't just the earthquake itself, it's what happens afterwards. Falling debris, collapsing structures, and aftershocks.
Interior Minister Cabello separately urged all residents to remain outside their buildings, warning that the aftershocks following an event of this magnitude were fully capable of bringing down structures already weakened by the main quakes. Within just 2 hours of the main shock, 6 aftershocks had already been felt across Caracas.
The shaking alone shows you how powerful this event was. You can see people trying to move quickly. Our buildings and streets become dangerous.
¡Qué locura! Oye, la gente no
Today we're watching footage coming out of Venezuela after
Geologically,
earthquake.
the disaster unfolded within a triangular zone bounded by 3 major strike-slip fault systems: the Bacano Fault to the south, the Oca-Ancon Fault to the north, and the Bucaramanga-Santa Marta Fault to the west.
Bueno, un daño estructural importante que están presentando en este momento. Hay mucha alarma.
If this video reaches your country, drop your flag in the comments.
The Bacano-Moron-El Pilar Fault System, a 1,300-kilometer long network of right lateral faults running along Venezuela's entire northern coast, lies at the tectonic boundary where the Caribbean plate meets the South American plate.
¡Qué verga!
The Caribbean plate's eastward movement against the South American plate produces an oblique collision zone prone to exactly this type of catastrophic seismic event. The Bacano Fault itself has generated devastating earthquakes in the past, with major events recorded in 1610 and 1894.
So, this is something that has happened and has devastated the Venezuelan country. So this is why we are highlighting, because back-to-back earthquakes of that magnitude and the damage it caused is alarming, because, you know, it just makes you appreciate life more. So no matter who you are, you know what I'm saying, it just makes you appreciate life more, man. You don't, you know, take a day for granted, because things like this can happen at any time. I don't think anybody was expecting back-to-back earthquakes, but this is all noted. And the Bible, if you ever read the Bible, it notes about these earthquakes in unexpected places. You know what I'm saying? It talks about wailing in the streets. You know, it talks about all every knee will bow. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just something to keep your eye open, man. And I believe there was other earthquakes in California and Japan on the same day. So let me know what y'all think.
Y mira cómo se cayeron todas las paredes del frente. Marico, esto está muy impresionante esto. Ay, Dios mío, la gente.
Seismologists pointed out that strong earthquakes are statistically unusual in Venezuela compared to Pacific-facing countries like Chile or Mexico, which makes this event all the more unexpected for a population not accustomed to seismic activity on this scale. The shaking was felt far beyond Venezuela's borders. In neighboring Colombia, residents in the Caribbean and northeastern regions reported feeling the tremors, though no injuries or damage were reported there.
Wow, y'all hear that? So it wasn't just in Venezuela. This was worldwide. It was felt.
Buildings in the Brazilian Amazon cities of Manaus, Belém, and Macapá were evacuated as a precaution after the quakes were felt across the region.
Wow, a lot of damage.
Aquí se cayeron dos edificios, miren, al lado de la Altamira. Dios mío, que estaban aquí en Altamira, el hotel Altamira, que tanto semáforo, se cayeron dos edificios, Dios mío. Tienen que ver.
The United States pledged immediate support. Rescue teams, medical personnel, and humanitarian supplies announced for deployment to Venezuela in the critical first hours and days following the disaster. The U.S. Embassy in Caracas confirmed that all its staff had been accounted for and urged American citizens in the country to seek secure shelter and stay away from damaged structures.
Deben haber gente ahí.
Claro que hay gente.
I mean, this is eye opening for me just to see earthquake do this much damage and be as captured as it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow.
No hay señal.
No, no hay señal, no hay señal.
It's, if you think about the Haiti earthquake that happened, you know what I'm saying? That also was, if y'all do some research on that Haiti earthquake that happened, I believe, in 2010. Yeah.
Witnesses across Caracas described the experience in terms that underscored just how unprecedented this event felt even to those who had lived through previous disasters.
Appreciate y'all for watching, man. You know, as more verified updates come in, the full picture still continue to become clearer. If you're watching from Venezuela or have family there, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments respectfully. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more clear, grounded updates on major global events. Thank y'all for your time. I'm watching, man. Really appreciate y'all.
Evident, it's hot, dog. You know what I'm talking, how we walking, y'all. About to get it, yeah, so exquisite. Traveling all across the globe, let you know just how we roll.